残酷な天使のように少年よ神話になれ青い風が今胸のドアを叩いても私だけをただ見つめて微笑んでるあなたそっと触れるもの求めることに夢中で運命さえまだ知らない痛いけな瞳だけどいつか気づくでしょうその背中には遥か未来目指すための羽があること残酷な天使の手で窓辺からやがて飛び立つほとばしる熱いパトスで思い出を裏切るならこの空を抱いて輝く少年よ神話になれ
And hello everyone, Into the Swamp is back on this beautiful Monday. Definitely not a Wednesday this week. We are so glad to be back. Finally, Hacks put up some time to be available. He's been unavailable for 2 weeks straight now because apparently he's having some celebration that he beat an Iron top laner in his UK team. So he's had his time. God of Mod, how are you feeling today?
Not gonna lie, I'm very stressed. I have a lot of scrims. I'm very stressed. That's all I'll say. I have a lot to do. But I'm happy to be here. It'll be fun to be here. But yeah, I'm very stressed.
Sounds good, man. At least you didn't have to remove a wisdom teeth, so it could be worse, man. You could be stressed and one teeth less.
True.
Anyway, guys, today we have two amazing guests. First, we have the superstar top laner Shrocklo. Welcome to the podcast. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, Thank you for having me.
So for anyone that might not know you, who exactly are you in this SLE league? Because I'm not sure everyone knows about you. I didn't know about you until Hax wrote about you 2 weeks ago.
I'm the top laner for Black Lotus, and this is my second split playing.
Yeah, which team were you on? You were on another team last, but you were on...
I was on Infernal Wolves
last you have
split.
upgraded massively then. Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And with us today, we also have the new author, Linus, top admin of SLE, the boss man himself. Linus, how are you feeling this wonderful Wednesday?
I'm feeling really great. I'm happy to be here, back again after last bit. Kind of excited. I was told we will do this Monday, but now we're doing it on a different Monday, so it's fine.
Look, it's all my... Look, I had... I'm playing for UKL qualifiers right now. So that was Monday. So it's all on me. I'm sorry. Look, I had a stonks week, basically.
You haven't done anything.
What do you mean? I have been screaming like perma, bro. I'm dying.
Bro, how can you scream so much and still be this bad? Anyway, guys, we just had a super week in the SLE. If anything is stressful in life, it's trying to schedule super weeks in SLE, especially when the other teams are doing their absolute best to help out, us included. So, Shrocklo, talk me through your week. How did your super week go?
Well, our super week went... I think the game 1 against Linkstream was very good, but then game 2 we kind of... Well, to quote Gloomy, we drafted like we were peak T1 and then we shat the bed.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Wait,
was that the Fiora game?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Then you played, after Linkstream, you had... Oh my god, there's too many teams.
We had Chitali.
Oh, unlucky, man. How did that go?
Yeah, but we went 1-1, but then they also played without Savonic, so don't know.
Oh, okay.
But a win is a win, right?
A win is a win, man. Like,
a win is a win. A win is a win. Who subbed in? I don't know, actually.
I don't remember the
Bobby
name.
Wonka, I will guess.
No, it wasn't.
Was not Voldemort. I mean, to be fair, you have the GOAT mid laner, so it makes sense that you managed to pick up one win.
Yeah.
Linus, you guys also had a similar week, 1-1 Dream, right? You first 1-1 Donkeys from Shrek and then 1-1 the EB. How do you feel like your overall week went?
I mean, I'm pretty happy with the results actually, because Bittner is currently chilling on Mallorca, like bare naked at the beach.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
detail.
So
Wow, graphic details out here.
we were kind of missing like our main carry, and we filled him in with Moppo again from last bit. And I mean, I think we could have gone to 0 against the Donkeys, but 1-1 is also fine. But going 1-1 against EB with like a substitute playing, I'm happy with that. That's a good
that
result.
was really good. You should have went
Not gonna
2-0 as well.
Yeah,
Had my
not gonna lie,
jungler
EB
not
cannot
decided
touch
to have his game of his life, we would have lost that as well. So
Oh, that was the
Yeah.
17-2 Graves game I saw in
Yes,
match results. Oh, okay.
Jonathan was so fucking done after game one. He just rage picked Graves and
A classical angry JI. Okay,
yes, the rest is history. So both of you teams going 1-1. I think EV went 1-1 all of the games, which means that we now have some new standings in the SLE. So I'm gonna put them up on screen. I hope at least here we have them, and we see that both our guests are on the left side of the standing. So first of all, we'll start with you, Shrocklo. How have you guys overall season been thus far? You're 4-4. That's like 4 more wins than you guys had at the same time last split. So how is it feeling so far?
I think we still haven't reached our full potential yet because we've had quite some messy games macro-wise. And I think if we can brush up on that, I think we can actually go quite far.
What do you think is like the most major issues you guys have had with macro so far?
It's generally like, in my opinion, it's the mid game and closing out games in general. Like I remember our game against you actually. I think game 1 we had a pretty good chance of winning, but then we couldn't close it out because we were playing too passively.
Yeah, you also gave me my only champion I'm good at, so managed
Unlucky.
to get lucky on that one. The smolder duty. Yeah, but overall, it's been quite impressive. You guys, I think you guys have stepped up actually. I think you've had some good additions to the roster, and I think this new jungler, Seth guy, he only played his first week was last week, right?
I think so.
I think
wrong.
Shitsu played
I
played against
believe
us.
I believe Seth was on vacation or something, no? And Shizu filled the first few weeks. I don't remember how many.
What would you say, like the dynamic in the team with Shitsu and the jungler compared to Seth? Like, what does Seth bring to the team that helps you guys?
He permaflames our mid laner.
That's good, actually. I think that's actually insane. That would
No, that's fucked
that
up.
probably
That's
helps
fucked
you
up.
guys a lot, actually. Any small details on what things he's not overly happy with when it comes to your mid laner?
There was a certain match where our mid laner lost, and he's constantly flaming him for it.
Oh, okay. We'll stop it with that. We know Black Lotus, they have that flame in the team. Linus, Black Flag, Sailors, 5-3 start. You guys are kind of flying out with a good start. What are your guys' general feel been this split? Because it's kind of the same roster without actually being the same roster. You have a lot of players that are still there, but they've role swapped, and then you've added both Butner and Ictis, I think your support is. What was like the process during the off season when putting together this roster?
I mean, when Erad joined our team for Prime League and like tournaments like the Pirate Bay, I talked to Erad and he was like, "Yeah, I want to play like in an English-speaking team in the next SAE split, which is EB." And I originally didn't want to come back for the SLE, but then Bittner hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I would like to play SLE again. Would you be interested in like having me on Black Flag Sailors?" And then I was like, "Hell yeah!" And then I was looking at my main roster, like Denza was already in, like he wanted to play again. Noir also wanted to play again, but he hates jungle so much, and he told me he will not come back to play jungle. So that's why Denza went to jungle, and Noir is playing mid lane. And as an addition, originally wanted to have Moppo again as support. He's our main jungler now, but he didn't want to go back to support. So that's why I looked to Ictis, who is a substitute for our team for like half a year now. and he was down to play support, and that's how we basically found the team.
So overall, you guys 5-3. That's kind of a similar start to last split, maybe a little bit slower. Still, overall, a good split. What has impressed you the most with this new edition of Black Flag? Is there anything that's better with this version compared to last season?
I think the main difference is that last split we had Pharaoh on ADC, who was like he lost his fun in league at after 2 weeks of SLE, and that was kind of dragging the whole team down. Right now, everyone is so hyped, everyone is having fun. We are just playing to have fun. And I'm specifically surprised by how well Denza is doing in jungle, because he never played jungle before. He just came into the role and he gets better every week. So I'm really, really excited to see how far we can go from here.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. God of Hacks. You always complain that you're so quiet, even though I hear you sleeping and snoring in the background. When you look at these standings, is there anything that stands out to you aside from the two teams we just mentioned? Anything that's impressed you?
Right, for once, which were?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Did you ask me about which were the two teams?
Yeah, I mean in the standings. I mean we just talked about this team.
What is this team? Help.
You know we have two guests and they play on each team.
Oh, so you mean BLE and BFS?
Yeah, I would prefer. But if you really want to talk about any of those teams, go ahead. But
what was your question?
when you look at the standings, God of Hacks.
Okay, I've been stressed, man. Just help me out there a bit. Okay, I was sleeping.
Is there anything that that
stands
wanna...
out?
Yeah, that stands out.
Yeah, I have one actually, and that's Void Warp. Actually, I think Void Warp stands out a bit. I would say. I think them getting to 5-3 is quite impressive. I don't know what matchups they've had though, so that could be that they've had easy matchups. But I think it's cool to see them up there. The rest of the 5-3 teams, I think, are Canel Bundestag is pretty high up. I also don't know their matchups, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, they've been doing that. They took a game of Nebula. That was impressive though.
Strictly left side, right? On the left side.
You can say whatever team you want, man. Maybe you're impressed that the Roundtable has almost secured a win.
That's fucked up. Don't do that.
I mean, Rogue was going ham
Canel
at them.
Bundestag and Void Warp are the ones I would
Yeah.
point at as being outliers. I would say specifically Void Warp. I mean, okay, I guess they're all shared position at 5-3. They're shared third to 8th place. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, guys, I'm getting really spammed in chat here. I think I'm gonna have to give Jonathan Isaac the SLE treatment soon, but we apparently have some live news from the SLE that Roundtable has secured their first 2 wins. I don't think we have to go into farther into this, but let's just say some players got banned. If you want to talk about the Linus, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, we can just move on and talk about something else. I don't mind either.
I mean, I would leave it up to you. You're the talk show host.
Okay, go ahead, man. Give us some drama. What's going on? I see here that Gloomyux and Shizu has been banned for the remainder of the SLE split 7 and 8. What's happened?
Okay, so basically what happened is that in their series against Roundtable in week 1, Shizu found out that he's not able to play, and then Gloomyux kind of got a new guy in playing on Shizu's account. From what I'm aware, he didn't tell his own team about it, so it's more like a Gloomyux and Shizu thing than rather a whole Black Lotus thing. But maybe Shrocklo can give us some insight since it's his team involved.
Okay, Shrocklo, if you feel comfortable, do you know anything about this new situation we hadn't planned up to bring it up?
I mean, it's kind of exactly what Linus said. I didn't know much until we were pretty much already in the game about it.
Yeah. I mean, overall, that's kind of stupid. I would say it's unlucky for the team. Roundtable, grats on your 2 wins. So I still believe you guys are still gonna continue to play, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then you guys probably maybe you get better, man. Maybe you get better. You get. I heard Lena is a free agent. You should see if she wants to join.
Maybe.
That's been Killer Keemstar with some news update, guys. We're now gonna move into and check this week's upcoming games, and here we have them. First of all, I want to start with the matchup of the week, because otherwise it's just gonna be hard to talk about. It's Black Flag Sailors versus Deadly She. Linus, going into this matchup, what are your expectations? Deadly She has looked really good up until last Sunday, where they got kind of stomped by Assassin's Creed. So, what are your expectations playing against Deadly She?
I mean, Bittner is coming back, and I think that we are a better team than Assassins because like we beat them all the time. So I'm feeling quite confident against Deadly Cheer. I think that they have a pretty strong roster with like a really big high if they perform up to their limits. So I would be happy with a 1-1, but I also feel like it could be a 2-0 for us. We could also be clapped though.
It should be a 2-0, no man. You gotta go up to some expectations. There's your chance to catch up to Assassin's Creed after they go 0-2 this week. Shrocklo, when you look at these two teams, or actually Linus, keep going if you have something. I'm not gonna interrupt for once.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that people will find out pretty soon how to play against Assassins. I mean, we found out like half a year ago, and they haven't changed their play style at all.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
If you want to slide into my DMs, they're always open, man. But moving on, Shrocklo, when you look at these two teams, do you have any opinions? Who do you think will win between these two teams?
If I may leak a little bit of the following segment, I'm really excited about the top lane matchup actually, about these two teams, because I think both of them are very good players, and I have them both on my tier list.
Ooh, who's the top laner for Black Flag?
Wow, can't seem to remember actually.
I mean, neither, man. It's kind of a blank space here. No, all jokes aside, I agree. I think this could be an interesting matchup. God of Hacks, who do you see taking this matchup of the week?
Hard to say, but I think, to be fair, like I think BFS have been looking pretty good. I think the honest prediction is a 1-1. I think both teams have like weird, crazy drafts, and I assume it's going to be like one draft one for one side and the one draft one for the other side. So I'd say it's a 1-1, but it'll be interesting to see. I think both teams could pull out a 2-0 as well. But I would give some favor to Black Flag Sailors, like a 70-30 maybe.
Yeah. Okay, then it's time for my prediction. I want to get flamed by Laser Break. Black Flag Sailors is absolutely gonna stomp Deadly She. 2-0. Laser Break is a fraud on the AD carry, and Butler will just whip him up back in shape and beat him up.
Respect.
Looking at the other games of the week, you guys are taking on Nebula this week, Shrocklo. What are your expectations coming into this game? Because Gucci Nebula, beforehand, very, very hyped team, have not been able to really consistently get those wins. Do you think there's a chance for Black Lotus to make an upset happen here?
Yeah, I think there's always a chance, and I think our roster is quite strong. Though, to be honest, I'm not really sure what's happening with our mid lane as of now. But I'm also very excited to play Ruzu, even though I'm probably going to get kind of clapped. But as long as I learn something, I find it really fun, regardless.
Yeah, that's understandable. Ruzu has been really hyped, though. I heard he had a tough series against Dark Horse Viking. So who knows? Maybe this is your guys' chance to really put them down. God of Hacks, any matchup you're particularly looking forward to?
Let me see. Why is it 2-0? Our grubbers
already, it's not actually Monday today, so some teams have already played.
I don't even
if you're
know
looking forward to that series, that's completely
I
fine.
actually think Donkeys versus Knebel and Star would be an interesting series for me, and also Void Warp versus Vitagen. I think both those two could have interesting outcomes.
Yeah, I think Void Warp has been an interesting team. They have a lot of SLE veterans that has kind of been on struggling teams lately, and I think they're kind of showing up. And I'm also interested to see what happens if Vitagen does not get their Seraphine or Ivern every single game. I don't know what do you think, Linus, but what is your opinion on Vitagen? Are they just Seraphine one tricks?
I mean, I think they have a pretty strong roster in theory. The way they lost last game against the Assassins, the one that they lost, I mean, Dutch was not there. I think without Dutch, they are pretty weak. With Dutch, they can be really strong, and I feel like a lot of teams will have big problems drafting against them because they can't really counter the way that Vitagen plays. I also think that they are a bit of a fraud team, though, so I wouldn't rate them top 3 or something.
Do you think they would be better if League had 4 top laners in each game?
Definitely.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I mean, we have to lift it as well. Assassin's Creed versus Eternal Blizzard. Guys, what are your expectations? My expectation is to get stomped 2-0. So, anyone here have any words of encouragement? How can we actually beat these insane teams? They're 7-1.
I mean, I can give you some words of encouragement if you want.
Please, Linus. I need it, man. I'm
So,
depressed.
as I said before, Arad, your support for the SLE is like our main support for Prime League. And since he joined Black Flag Sailors in June, we went basically 15-2 against Assassin's Creed. We've beaten them in like 2 tournaments to 0. They've only won like games and scrims, and it was always like a 1-2 loss for them. So Arad should know how to beat the Assassins in like an official game. So
Yeah.
I don't think he will have problems.
I mean, to be fair, I thought Elrat would know how to beat Black Flag Sailors as well, but apparently you guys made a new channel, so we couldn't speak on your strategy. Sadly, Shrocklo, you have also played against Assassin's Creed, I assume.
No, I've only played against them in the Pirate Bay.
Yeah, what is your thoughts on Assassin's Creed? Or are they the best team in SLE right now?
I think I don't know if I can call them the best because it's still kind of close in my opinion, the top teams. But I think they're definitely one of the contenders.
No, I think that's completely fair to say. God of Hacks, Jordi, your boy, how has he been looking so far this split? Are you impressed by him?
I have been, but he's also facing an issue because his strongest champion is Cassante, and
I heard
as you see, I
Cassante
tried
is really
Cassante
good,
today.
actually.
Dude, I tried Cassante today, bro. That shit does not look playable. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I haven't like tried in a real game. Obviously, I tried in a 1v1, just real quick. But like, bro, that Q in ult form looks like a snail speed. I don't know. And that is one of his better champs. So he will like obviously he has other champs.
I hope he keeps picking Cassante, actually.
I mean, he's not going to pick. He'll pick something up, but the question is, what does he pick up, and what quality will the next thing he picks up, like as his golden standard? What will that be? And I think that introduces a bit of ambiguity right into like their power level, because I feel like Jordi is a kind of pivotal part of their power. So yeah, I don't know. They might take a dip of that. Obviously, other teams might as well, but he's the most iconic Cassante player I can remember outside of Rusu.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Guys, we've talked about top lane a lot, so why not just go into this new segment? Dutch last week, he blessed us with some tier lists. We had 5 days of pure content. I don't think I've seen the SLE people been as happy in a long time. Considering I'm here every single day, or at least every single week, the SLE is more dead than ever. I have to say, I don't know if community content has had any more shatters ever as they did that this week. So I'm not so sure if SLE is dead with that amount of engagement. So you guys have prepared 3 tier lists, all in different sorts of formats. Linus, you've done a top 5 based on like more of a like a row style. Shrocklo is taking one single row, and Hacks has not counted that well, considering he's named it 1 to 3 and then put 5 players in that 1 to 3. So starting off, guys, Linus, you have Jordi. Shrocklo, you have Jordi number 1, and Hacks, you have Jordi number 2. Why is Jordi so far up on these tier lists? If you start, so you can start me off, Shrocklo.
Well, I've played against him in the Pirate Bay, and I really remember that match. He was very strong. And I've seen like his stats, and I've seen some of the games. He just seems quite dominating this split as well, as of now. Obviously, the Cassante changes. I'm not sure how it'll affect him, but I still think he's the best top laner right now.
What about you, Linus? What stands out with Jordi compared to last split? Do you think he's improved?
I think he was the best top laner last split as well. I think maybe I'm a bit biased because I know how much shot calling he does for his team and how helpless the assassins are if he's not there. And if you are the main shot caller from like top lane, then that says a lot. I think that Jordi has a really good champion pool, even though like Cassandra is bad. I mean, I haven't played the new Cassandra, but if Hex with his hands says that he's bad, then I think I can trust him.
It's a 1-game sample size. It's a 1-game sample size. Keep that in mind.
Okay. I just think that Jordi is like the most consistent top laner and also the one that has the biggest impact on his team, and that's why I put him at number 1. Because I feel like Russo and Jeff, like they are also pretty good, but I feel like they have more often they have games where they like don't really shine, where they are like nearly invisible and just chilling on top lane, not doing that much.
Yeah, no, I think all of that makes sense. I think Jordi is just consistency himself right now, and he's had some real pop-off games. I mean, I think Los Murderato still has nightmares from that Camille game he played against Jordi where he went 0-10. So he's just been overall really, really good. Looking at the rest of you guys' tier list, it's kind of similar. We have the Russo, we have Jeff, we have Baltasar in it. But looking at this, God of Hacks, you have not included either Shrocklo or Linus in your tier list. Why is that?
I think they are close. This also might be his personal bias because I get to obviously see a lot of Benjamin because I help him out every now and then. Personally, I think Benjamin has a lot of things he could be doing that I'm not sure why he's not doing in officials. That if he did, he would be a top 5 top laner in my mind. But as far as I've seen, he's mostly playing the stock standard he's still doing. So I don't know. I think when he brings out the things he's been doing in the background, I think it'll just be top 5. That's just it, basically. I also haven't seen a lot of his lead, to be fair. So it's obviously like a very like limited what I can see because I've been very, very busy for like 2 weeks. So yeah, that might have also influenced my decision. But I feel like Benjamin is a top 5 player for sure. I just felt like I really wanted to include him. If anything, I think I messed up my positioning maybe on Balta and Jeff. I'm not sure. And I think if I would drop anyone out of this list, it might be Balta, but I'm not sure. I think Balta has been performing, but I haven't seen those games myself too well.
Okay, Linus, the next question is for you then. You have Banrex on your tier list right now, currently in, I would guess, shared 5th place is what you've aimed for. His team is
I mean,
currently 1-7. What makes Banrex stand out to you, even though they are struggling to pick up some wins right now?
I just think that like Slimots is holding Banrex back. Like they did that in splits 5, they did it last split, and they doing it now again. I feel like he dropped a bit in performance. If he would have played as good as last split, then I would have put him in 4 and then the rest at 5. But I feel like he also has become a bit shaky. But if you look like at his games, like he's trying his best to win. Like he carried them to their only victory. And like I feel like maybe it's Ginny, like the mid laner and captain, who really tries to sabotage Banarex. But he's still good. He's still good. So I think he should be at least in talk for a top 5.
And I've heard from certain people that Ginny is one of the best mid laners in the league, so I would be surprised if that was true. Yeah, all jokes aside, Shrocklo, aside from the 5 you have mentioned here, is there anyone else that you want to give an honorable mention to? Someone that you feel like is on an upward swing?
Hang on, let me take a look at my full tier list.
You gotta shout out Tibo the Goat, no?
Oh yeah, I do. His Gragas was it will haunt me.
I mean, my question is when we will get to see Timo's Timo. I've been waiting all week long for that Timo.
That would go hard, actually.
I mean, I heard Riot did the ASU for him, no?
Huh? Well, I guess we're seeing Timo
Oh.
next patch, then I hope it comes out next patch at least. So guys, that has been the tier list segment. Thank you, Dutch, for providing this great content and that I can then plagiarize and steal for my own benefits. I want to keep talking about Slim Mods because I feel like every single year I see them like kind of like low-key hype, like this is the year, and every time I'm just kind of let down. It's still early in the season, but they've had quite a tough start. Linus, do you think that maybe it's time for them to change something up, or do you believe this split might be it?
I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like the players are there. They should be successful, but somehow they are not. Maybe they need to get better internet, or maybe, I don't know, they need to change their mindset. But I mean, if they don't make playoffs this time, like the last 2 times they barely made playoffs. If they don't make it this time, I'd honestly just kick the whole bot side and get a new one in. Because otherwise they are doomed, in my opinion.
Shrocklo, have you played against Slim Mods yet?
I played against them last split and we 2-0'd them.
Were you impressed by them?
I mean, realistically, last split, Bannerex seems like the only decent player. Like the rest of the map, pretty much hard won by themselves.
Yep. So we're just back at hashtag free Bannerix again. One more split. God of Mod.
Yeah.
Is there any hope for Slim Mods? Should we give up on them? What do you think will lift them to new successes this split?
I mean, they had the transfer in of Alfeld, right? I have not seen his games at all because very funny, haha, moment week and all that. But yeah, I mean, not Banrex, but Slimbots has always been that way. I remember, I think it was the first game actually cast in this league. It was literally, I said, Slimbots are losing this game unless Banrex just turbo smurfs a team fight. Turns out he did turbo smurf that team fight and they won the game. So I feel like they've always had that dynamic, right? Where Banrex has to pull the weight of more than what you would expect, maybe. Like he has to pull more weight and just be doing his role, let's say, in top lane. I don't know. I feel like they've always had that dynamic. I assume it won't change. I can't say I know what the problem is. I can't pinpoint like a specific player saying like this. I don't know. I assume it might just be because maybe they don't have time to scrim, so they don't improve a lot, and that just means they stay the same, right? They have the same dynamic.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I personally think Slime Mods has a hella good name, and I hope that they come back stronger. I'm yet to play against them, so please let me play against you once, Slim Mods. I believe in you guys. We're gonna move into one of our last segments of this week's podcast, and it's Player of the Week. Before I showed it though, do you guys have anyone you would give it to? This Player of the Week. Linus, we start with you. You keep a track with SLE probably the most here. I hope so at least, because God of Hack seems to not even know what SLE is right now. Is there any player that stood out for you this week?
I mean, it was a super week, so it was basically 2 games. But I feel like Trouble Bubble from Assassin's Creed, like he's having a really, really strong split. He played pretty good against Vitagen on like Aurelion Soul and also Zoe. And then also in their game against Gucci, Deadly G, he also had 2 pretty good games. So I feel like he should be the player of the week.
What about you, Shrocklo? Who do you have as your Player of the Week?
Well, it was a very long week for me. I didn't really keep track of everyone, but I do have to give a shout out to our new jungler. I think he's very correct, and I think he deserves it. But this is obviously a bit biased, but I still stand by what I say.
We're all biased in the swamp, man. It's more than welcome. I've been impressed by Seth as well. God of Mod, I know you haven't had time to watch any SLE. You say a random player you thought
I know one though. No, I have one actually. I have one. I got to mind the little bit of SLE I saw. I'm gonna give it to my boy Ichigoti. For 1, he played Rise, and 2, he had a crazy team. He got like a quadra kill or something. Shout out to Ichi for playing Rise. That was cool.
Yeah.
He has redeemed himself from his Renato. Shout out to Ichi. That was nice.
Okay, Hacks going back on his word. Okay, but to be fair, I don't really care about what anyone of you see. The real MVP of this week is none other than Rob Gob, my man Rob Gob, Kanelbullens dog. I had no expectations for this team, and they just went in there first, take a game of Nebula, and then just straight up 2-0. I need to actually see who they 2-0, but they did 2-0, I promise. Man, why can't I keep track of teams this split? Who did they 2-0?
But I mean, I see this though. I remember I did cast the Nebula game, and I mean, I do agree. I feel like Rob Gob, at least for the Nebula stock, he has been performing hella well. Like I feel like the new junglers have been performing hella well. Like Seth was mentioned, right, and Rob Gob. They do a lot for their teams. And then, sir,
Jonathan Isaac.
Well, he's not new, but hey.
Oh yeah, true.
This is new junglers.
What do you think, guys? Shrocklo, have you seen anything about this Rob Gob guy, or is still waiting to be envisioned?
I think I was watching one of his games where he, on the side when I was playing League, and I remember he stole a lot of objectives, I think, or something. But the casters are really hyped about him. I hear it in the background.
I mean, how can you not like a guy that has the name Rob Gob? It's just such a banging name. Linus, what is your thoughts on Rob Gob?
I think he's pretty good. I've seen a series of him. He played Sejuani. I don't quite remember which game it was, but I found it was really nice. I think it was against Gucci Nebula. where
I
they
feel-
went 1-1. I feel like he had like 2 really, really good games there. And I think people are sleeping on him just because he's like on a new team. People just don't know him yet.
Yeah, I mean, Kanelbullen's dog has impressed me. They have performed way above what I expected. So they were even almost. They were giving Nebula the run for the money in that game too that they lost. I think Robgob had an insane Sejuani that game, so it's probably that one you're thinking about. So Robgob, congratulations to Player of the Week. Your award is that you get to play one duo queue game with Lurgs. I hope you look forward to it. With that in mind, though, guys, we are going to move into the last segment of this week's Into the Swamp. God of Hacks, are you ready for your favorite segment? We have none other than Hot Take of the Week with God of Hacks coming up here. So, Hacks, you promised me you had a really good hot take this week.
Oh, but do I? You know what the thing is, right?
Oh?
Do I get to? No, okay, but do I get to ruin your draft?
Do whatever you want, man. I couldn't care
Okay.
less.
Okay. I think people obviously hasn't played it, but I do believe after my God blessed coaching, Benji might have the best Camille in the S League.
Okay, Linus, I can't leak too much.
But nobody's seen it.
No, Linus has seen his Camille, and I think he killed Linus when he was AFK that game. So,
That was Stream Leaks?
Yeah.
Stream Leaks?
what do you think about that AFK kill? He got you real good on that one.
I don't know, man. I was just like, I DC'd and I was like yelling at my computer to get his internet back. And then I was
This was super
back.
far back, though, no? Isn't this way
I
back?
think
2 weeks ago.
I think it was like 2 weeks ago.
Is that 2 weeks ago?
And
No, it has to be
and
more.
then I came back in and I saw myself standing in the middle of a minion wave and Benji just hitting all his buttons to kill me. And that kind of made me mad, but it is what it is.
Thank you, Linus. Benjamin, he appreciates it. He needed that for his confidence. Shrocklo, have you seen any Camille so far? I've heard you have quite a good Camille yourself.
I haven't actually met a single Camille yet. I'm pretty sure.
So you would say that you are the best Camille then?
No, I wouldn't. I'd say that goes to Los Moderato.
Oh yeah, true. Los Moderato. Camille actually hits different. No damage at all, at least, but he does his best. Los Moderato. Have you guys realized it's been a bit more quiet this season?
Quiet how? From
Not
Lost.
shit posting as much. I guess that has a bit to do with the standings, but
Yeah, but
I hope he comes
there's a lot
back
of
strong.
content. But there's a lot of content, right? I feel like most people. So shitpost usually I feel like blows up whenever there's like a lack of content. I feel like we had like Dutch tier lists. We had Mikus came back with the article. Linus came back with the article. I dropped one, then I disappeared because Jesus, my life. We had the swamp. Like we have a lot of ways to get content, right? Which means I feel like people mostly just discuss that instead of spending time igniting fires and shitpost.
I mean, this last couple of weeks, Linus, you've returned to articles. It's good to have you back. Yeah. How
God
did it
bless.
feel to be back? I hope hope not too
It
many
was a
death
shit
threats.
ton of no death threats yet. It was a shit ton of work. But yeah, I just felt like it again, and I wrote an article. Some people got mad, but not as mad. So probably there will be like 1 or 2 more this split.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear that, dude. I was so tired of God of Hacks articles. I'm just so glad you're back, man.
I'll be back in a little bit, okay?
In a
This
little
week
bit, bro.
is ruined. This week, I want to do an article this week to catch up on Super Week, but
Mhm.
I just can't, bro. This week
Okay.
is murdered. But
And then next week, shit, I have Scream 7 days
no,
out of
next
8.
week should be fine, okay?
Okay.
Next week should be fine.
Excuses. Just excuses.
No, dude, come on, man.
No, but I really appreciate the articles. I think they're a fun read, even though I mostly only read about myself for my own team. I still go through them. So, guys, for the love of God, can we stop sending death threats, man? It's so cringe. Anyway, guys, before we close up this episode, Linus, do you have any finishing words, any shout outs, anything you just want to lift off your chest before we close this one up?
I wanna shout out the assassins. I think you guys had a pretty good run so far, but I also think that you're frauds, and in the end you will fall down, like always in playoffs.
The
So
Sanctuary Classic.
keep your good mood for now. as long as you can enjoy it and then, I don't know, lose to Slumots or Grubbers in playoffs. And
Yeah, no death threats, but Linus definitely has the threats on deck.
Yeah.
The AG threats.
I heard Jordi's typing up an angry message right now. Shrocklo, what about you? Anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to say as closing words?
Gotta shout out my goat Mini.
Standing strong still.
Yeah.
What about you, Garomod? Do you have time for shout outs, or are you really that stressed that it might be a bit too much for you right now?
No, how do I? I'm a give my love to Itchy. Thank God you're playing Rice, but not with Renata. God bless. Keep doing that. I like to see it.
Perfect. My shout out goes to the Wisdom Teeth I pulled out in Monday. That's the reason we had to go late this week. Thank God it's gone, but please, man, I wanna not have hurt in my mouth anymore. Anyway, guys.
By the way,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. If I may add, I may add something. It's really difficult being a top laner when your ADC plays Ornn better than you.
that might be a tough. But I have something better for
Shrocklo,
you.
I've been there, bro. It's hard to play Skarner when my support's better than me.
Yeah.
I mean, don't tell Elrat that my AD carry is a better support than him, so it could be what it is, man. It could be worse. Anyway, guys, this has been Into the Swamp. Thank you, Linus. Thank you, Shrocklo, for joining. Best of luck in the future of season. I hope you guys find a new mid laner, Shrocklo, that's not called Vanix or whatever he was called. And
thank you.
This has been Into the Swamp. Bye, guys. We won't be here next week. We will take 1 week break again because Hax is so stressed out he doesn't have time to plan that far. So we're taking a 1 week break now. See you later, guys.
Lying, bro.
Breakdown is out.
Nah.